Hi guys and welcome back to another Starcraft Remastered replays. Once again we have a very strong engagement here from the South Korean scene in between the two pro players. We have a spawning here in the lower left in the tier. It is Neox92. This is of course the AK from Queen, the ASL champion, and his opponent none other than one of the greatest, if not the best Terran players there is. Eros quality, but this is of course the AK from Flash. So a very long game, as you can see from the timer. 45 minutes of a replay, very strong macro game. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I also added a thumbnail that is not going to spoil anything for you, but we are going to be seeing indeed something out of the ordinary happening here into this replay. So we are going to now check the build orders very soon in between the pros. Flash of course starting with his supply depot. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Zerg is going for. Fast expansion, spawning pool first. We're about to find out. First, a overlord is being made. His overlord, sadly for him, going into the wrong direction, but that is okay. And yeah, like I told you, it's going to be a little bit out of the ordinary. Not going to be quite the usual Terran versus Zerg here. Yeah, we are just about to find out what exactly, especially Flash, is going to go for. Currently, he's just opening up pretty standardly supply depot into barracks. And let's have a look at the Zerg, who made his second overlord and is now very likely going for a scouting drone with a expansion hatchery into this location. So pretty standard stuff here by the Zerg. Fast expansion without spawning pool, and also going out for his scouting. Same can be said here for Flash. Pretty standard stuff. 1 minute and 40 seconds. Both players are going out to scout, and a good scout here for Queen. Really wants to know what exactly Flash is up to, but yeah, standard stuff here by Flash. And let's see if he is going to go for his expansion as well, if he's going to see the expansion from Queen. Now the drone is coming in. It's going to be a little bit annoying, of course, dealing damage towards this SCV. First Marine is being produced. You can see of course the production tab here in the upper left part, with the spawning pool now also being made for the Zerg. There it is. So yeah, drone is here into this location. Might get surrounded here by the SCV. Needs to be careful. Sees the second supply depot as Flash continues here to just scout the map for his opponent. Yeah, the Overlord is also taking a new path here into the middle of the map just to gain as much control as possible of the map, as much vision as possible. And we already see 2 Marines out, even the 3rd Marine going out here for Flash. So is it going to be a rush? No, he's actually going for a expansion as well. So pretty standard stuff. Of course the SCV saw now the expansion here, saw that there are no drones mine. He also saw this interesting hatchery into this location. So Queen might try to go for a early harassment here with mass Zerglings. Could be a possibility for him, but maybe it's just a macro hatch for later on, as actually Flash is now moving out with his Marines towards this expansion. Queen should react of course with a sunken very soon. Or is he? No, actually he's just sending out a couple of Zerglings. But this could be also a bunker rush here for Flash. So 3 Marines are out, 1 SCV in the front, no other SCVs have been pulled. So let's have a look if he's going to be successful versus the Zergling. But no, he decides to pull back. Perhaps waiting for some reinforcements, perhaps waiting for a better position. One Zergling might get taken out here, and 2 more Marines are joining. Good micro here for Flash. 1 Marine almost getting killed. 3 Zerglings also almost getting killed for Queen. So it was perhaps a fake attempt here to move out by Flash, just to scare the opponent, maybe just to force him in to go for some sunkens, you know, maybe just to force him to spend some minerals for those sunkens. But in the end he just moved back and now building his bunker, building his bunker here next to his expansion, and at the same time once again moving out with 6 Marines. I believe 1 is hurt, so he's going to get micro back. Let's see if Flash is going to commit. He might try a rush with Marines, with some SCVs, building a bunker next to the expansion. And this bunker is empty, actually only 1 Marine there, so lucky move out here by Queen. The SCVs have to be pulled. Zerglings will take some damage, but some SCVs will fall here as well. So in the end a fair trade. Queen a little bit supply block, so I believe yes indeed those Marines have been successful into sniping 1 Overlord. So we are soon going to pass the 5-minute mark. Very standard stuff here for both players. We actually see massive amounts of Zerglings being placed, and we also see a Spire here for Queen. So very likely soon we will have a strong transition into massive amounts of Mutalisk. Many Zergs really like to do that versus the Terrans, just to abuse the Mutalisk micro against the Marines, against the SCVs. And let's have a look when exactly the attack, or if there is going to be an attack here for Queen. In the meantime, we actually see a Vulture here by Flash and even a Starports. So what an interesting transition here as well from the Terran barracks into factory and then Starport. So let's have a look. Is he perhaps going to try massive amounts of race versus the Overlords? It could be a possibility. Also going for speed. Vultures, of course, really strong against the Zerglings, especially with those mines on the ground. Very deadly against the Zerglings. And let's have a look if Queen is going to try to take his other expansion point very soon. Currently he's staying at 2 bases. I believe he's going to wait for the Spire to finish and then just go massively into Mutalisk. Just saving here his money, as you can see. And as soon as the Spire has been finished, there it is. All the Mutalisk, 7 Mutalisk are going to be produced. Flash not having yet any anti-air here. I don't see an engineering bay. Perhaps he hid it somewhere else. No, actually there is no. Oh, finally it is getting produced here. So Flash has to hurry up. The Mutalisk are getting produced, 9 of them. He is actually moving out with Vultures, 3 Vultures, so aggressive move out here by him. The Terran not deciding to be defensive at home and is going out with Vultures, but Queen already having some Sunkens being produced here into this location, which is actually Evolution Chambers with a Sunken in the middle. So quite a nice thing here by him. And also the Mutalisk could have been ready to deal with all of those Vultures, but I believe Flash is going to wait for those Mutalisks to move out and then strike with the Vultures in the front. But there is a Sunken. The Evolution Chambers have been cancelled. Let's have a look if he's going to be successful. At the same time he's moving here forward. 1 Vulture has been snapped. The Mutalisk actually now have to come back home as the 1 Vulture is here into the main, and he is very likely going to get some good kills. Let's check his kill count. 3 kills already, all of those drones. So good move out already. 4. Of course he's going to get sniped here by the Mutalisk, but in the end the damage has been done. However, only 1 Vulture is being left alive now, and massive amounts of Mutalisk. 1 Sunken is still alive. The Evolution Chambers could have stayed, but Queen decides to cancel them, and now at the same time he's moving out on the map, but there should of course be some turrets now. So interesting timing push here by Flash with Vultures. And let's see what he's going for. Perhaps many Marines, we're about to find out, as the Mutalisk are slowly but steadily closing in forward towards the expansion point. At the same time more Vultures are spreading out on the map, but they will be intercepted very soon by Zerglings and by those flying Mutalisk. So yeah, Flash tries of course to have as much vision as possible, tries to spread as many mines as possible, as those Overlords are still very slow moving in the air. And we actually see a transition into Hydos here for Queen. At the same time we have a Valkyrie being produced. So interesting stuff here. Actually many Valkyries are here out already. 3 Valkyries, the perfect counter versus those Mutalisk in the air. And we even see Flash going into more Marines now. What is this going to be his strategy? We're about to find out, as it is of course a very long game. We see Scourges now in the air, Hydrolisks, so I believe Queen is going to try to secure this expansion point, just trying to have as many bases as possible, perhaps even add a base here and into the upper left part. Flash knows this of course. This is why those Vultures are out, and they're dealing good damage against the Hydrolisks, but in the end it's going to of course get clear. But still Flash is not going to give up. It's just going to keep sending out Vulture after Vulture. He knows of course that the Vultures will snipe many Zerglings, and yeah, very aggressive move out here by him, just to have as much map control as possible, just to annoy the enemy as much as possible. I believe Queen is going to try to go for his Overlord speed. He still doesn't have the 3rd base. He's actually going for a tier 2 of tier 3, sorry, a fast tier 3. So what could be his plans? Maybe he's going for some Guardians. We're about to find out very soon. Maybe some Lurkers. Indeed, some Lurkers are already getting produced. And let's check out what is going for. Some Evolution Chamber and the Defiler mounts, of course. Defiler mount is going to be the answer here for the Queen. A fast Defiler mount. Nice rush. We are closing towards the 10-minute mark. And Defilers it is going to be here for Queen versus his opponent versus Flash. So many Valkyries in the air. 5 of them. Of course, they will obliterate the Mutalisk But yeah, let's see when exactly Flash is going to move out. Let's check his main. More Valkyries are actually being produced, so Flash sinks, of course. This is a massive amount of Mutalisk strategy here from Queen as he's moving out with his Valkyries now in the air. There are some Scourges, so he needs to be careful here, but badly here for Queen is microing them really badly, and there's the strength, the force out of those Valkyries with those rockets, so Queen very soon is going to get attacked. And a good move out here by Flash on the map. Still, there is no third base here from Queen. Flash is of course trying to snipe some Overlords. He's going to try to snipe some Mutalisk as well, and yeah, you can see how strong those Valkyries are of course in the air. So 2 Overlords have been snapped. This one might get snapped here as well. Queen tries to secure of course his expansion, as Flash is going to try of course to get as much map control as possible and see all of those upgrades going out. Speed for Overlords here as well, the Defilers upgrades here as well, and we can also see Siege Tank ability being upgraded, so pretty much great control here for Flash. The Mutalisk need to be microed back. Still supply block here for Queen, as now Flash is pretty much in control, but he has no vision against those Lurkers. Only ComSat, only the satellite can save him here. So let's see the counter from Queen is here. He's going to try to snipe those turrets, but there's so many turrets here for him. We see some SCVs on idle. I believe Flash is just going to bring back those the Valkyries. We even have a dropship, but it might get sniped, so Flash needs to be careful, taking some damage out of that. And he's pretty much in control of the exit from Queen. At the same time, he's also deciding to expand here, so Flash pretty much in control, and even adding some tanks now. So the tanks very likely to take care of those Lurkers being buried here. We do have a Defiler though, so Queen I believe should be fine. Let's see what is going to happen here. The tanks are moving slowly but steadily forward. At the same time, Queen tries to expand. There is a Nidus connection here. But yeah, let's see how the siege continues here as Flash is slowly but steadily moving forward. Some Zerglings a little bit microed. He needs some vision. There is the ComSat, but yeah, are the Lurkers going to get snapped? No, all of them make it out alive. But the Science Vessel is much needed. However, the siege keeps continuing. It's actually 4 siege tanks now as he's going to try to micro them back and forward. The Marines also dealing good damage here against all of those Mutalisk in the air. Queen tries of course his best to snap the tanks, but the real action is of course happening here already. All of those Sun Guns have been snapped. The great micro here by Queen with all of those Mutalisk of course is going to target those tanks, but in the end Flash comes forward with his Valkyries a little bit late onto the party, but in the end they will be able to kill all of those units. I believe if the Valkyries would have been there, it would have been great to defend all of those tanks, but now so much splash damage is being taken here by the Overlords in the air. Everything is getting obliterated, even though those Overlords here could be a great target here for the race, but Flash sadly not paying attention. He has to micro the Marines. Let's see if he's now going to see all of the Overlords, and there it is, massive amounts of splash damage, but not that many Brace Valkyries are being left here alive, and now the Scourges will get some good connections, so in the end this will get cleared. But yeah, Flash would have had those Valkyries into this location, it would have been a different outcome in the end. Queen holds, he did take quite some losses. The same can be said actually here for Flash as well, as he might try to move now forward, but no, there are Lurkers here with his Brace. So yeah, Flash adding more and more Brace now, sorry, Vultures onto the map, just to have as much map control, just to not allow the Zerg to push here forward. So good job by him, even now moving forward with his Vultures. Might try to add some mines here, and this can be very very deadly. Queen reacting immediately with some Zerglings. The damage will be taken here by him. Even some mines can be laid over. Vultures are really really strong, very very fast on the ground. And yeah, some drones have been killed. Look at that, Queen had only 13 drones versus the 63 for a Flash. Same time, Flash also expanding here at the 3 o'clock position, so quite a extraordinary move here by him. But yeah, with a small mistake with those Valkyries in the air, he could have had so much more control versus the Mutalisk. But yeah, in the end he's now transitioning into mass Vultures on the ground, adding more and more of those mines just to take care of the reinforcements by Queen. in the end the Zerglings will very likely step into those mines. The same can be said here by the lurkers. So yeah, very hard game here for Queen to step out. I believe it's just a small stalemate now. Queen is trying to recover, is going to try to add many more units, and yeah, overlords need to be protected at any cost versus the anti-air from Flash. You can see all of those mines being added here for Flash. Finally he gets some detection with his overlord, but yeah, it looks like Flash actually now transitioning to mass mech, so very interesting stuff by him. 6, even 7 factories now into his main. It's going to be Goliaths with tanks, with vultures, so interesting strategy. Like I told you, out of the ordinary stuff. Usually the Terrans like to go bio, but now they're going straight into those mechanical build orders, and yeah, no chance here for Flash to move forward as Queen. He is now confident to expand, but we do have a army move out. Let's check the upgrades out of the tanks. 1 weapons upgrades here for him. Flash is moving out. Of course he's going to choose the next established bases here for Queen. These are the main targets. At the same time he's also having a group of vultures here, so I believe he's going to move slowly but steadily forward. You can see him move out on the minimap. Vultures, of course, adding more and more of those mines just to give security for those Goliaths and for those tanks that are moving out of the map. A science vessel would also be very nice here for Flash, but I think he knows exactly what he's doing. There is a science facility, and yeah, here are the tanks, but the reaction is nice from Queen. He's going to add the Dark Swarm here from those defilers just to buy time for his expansion to thrive. And yeah, slowly but steadily we're closing towards the 20-minute mark. Interesting game we have so far here. Flash pretty much in control, but Queen with a great defense so far. Same time Flash adding more and more of those units. You could take the middle of the map. The vultures are still moving out. Some mines will be added here, so it's very hard for Queen to move out. There are tanks here pretty much in control of this map, and another move out here by Flash. So Flash wants to have as much control as possible of the map, adding multiple mines on the ground, and those tanks will also give good ability here for him on the map. Many more vultures have been added here, many more tanks, and yeah, let's have a look. Those tanks are pretty much exposed, but I believe Flash knows exactly what he's doing, as he's pretty much attacking now on 3 fronts into this location. There is control here on the upper left part, so nice stuff here by Flash, gaining more and more control. You can see pretty much the map is all yellow, all filled with mines, with tanks and all mech here. So a hard game here for Queen, as he's finally sending out a nucleus to take care of the tanks, but there is even a turret being produced here by Flash. And we hold on, we actually have an army move out with Zerglings, with lurkers on the ground. A great move out here by Queen. Should be able to end off this attack, this siege by Flash. But Flash also nicely microing those units, and in the end he just has been forced a little bit back, and at the same time he just keeps on killing more and more of the units from the Zerg. He needs to be careful with those Goliaths, as they will take splash damage here. So yeah, interesting game we have here as we close towards the 20-minute mark, and yeah, more and more mines are being laid, so more and more damage is being taken here by the Zerg. Still, however, Queen holds. He has those defilers, he should be okay. He is, however, suffering at the same time. His economy, however, is recovering. You can see him close towards 60 workers. And yeah, very hard to micro multiple units at many exits here for Queen, as yeah, still those vultures are roaming around the map, still laying more and more of those mines, and yeah, eventually, even with a overload in the air, the Zerglings will step towards those mines and take damage. So very aggressive move out here by Flash, very in control move here by him, as he just keeps on sending out tanks out more and more, just to deal more and more damage and just to punish the Zerg here, and yeah, just snipe more and more of those units. Very nice strategic gameplay here by the Flash, just showing us how mech can pretty much control the Zerg, not allowing him to move out with his reinforcements, with his Zerglings and so on. But yeah, it's still anyone's game. A more defensive gameplay here for Queen, of course, as he can't move out against so many mines on the ground, and yeah, he needs to play it defensively. Perhaps he's going to try a drop, but yeah, Flash keeps on sending more out tanks into this location. Let's check their upgrades very quickly, 2 to 1. Let's check the Zerg very quick. also 2-1, but it's 2 carapace, 1 attack, so of course queen on the defense. We have a stalemate again, but so much control once again for Flash. You can see it of course in the mini map. He can take this expansion at the 12 o'clock, but no, hold on, queen is actually countering. Finally a successful counter. I believe he tried a drop with some overlords here with some high risk, and now finally queen is the one deciding to expand. Flash could have had however time to expand here to make some defenses, as he's now moving out with his mech. I believe queen should not be able to hold this, as so many tanks are moving forward, vultures and so much more here, unless he's bringing more reinforcements towards this location. So a very important newly established expansion, but there are tanks on the low ground, and yeah, the hatchery immediately getting shut down. So this will of course be the next expansion that is going to be thought of in between the twos. We have a defiler into this location. We have many more bases being established here by Flash. The center could be taken here as well, so let's see how this game is going to continue. When exactly... oh, what a surprise, we actually have queen. So of course queen reacting with queens versus the tanks with the small broodlords, and of course he's just trading energy against the tanks. So what a smart move here by queen, adding those queens versus the tanks. Yeah, just microing them back. Of course they're very important. Look at that, all of that energy. I believe that has been traded against the tanks on the ground. So great counter here. All of a sudden Flash in some serious trouble. The queens will just stay here, re-establish their mana. Let's have a look how fast it goes. Yeah, leave 1 second, but yeah, broodlords, the perfect counter here for Flash. Sorry, for queen versus the tanks, and of course the defilers, the perfect counter as well with Darkstorm. So the Zerg immediately reacting. What is going to be the reaction here from Flash? There it is, mass grace all of a sudden, and I believe some science vessels will be added here as well, and there as well, but even more queens are getting produced here from queen. So what the interesting strategies we have here for both players. Quite out of the ordinary stuff here by both of them, but are those rays going to be enough to snipe the queens in the air? And it's just queens here for queens, so he needs some backup. He needs perhaps some devourers or some mutilisks to back them up, as the rays are now moving forward into the map. So let's see, is he going to try to snipe some overlords? Yeah, there's first overlord, but no, he's heading straight. I believe he scanned this area and said here for queen. All of those queens are pretty much exposed, as yeah, he needs to hurry up. 3 queens already, 4 have been sniped. Slowly but steadily more and more is taken out, and yeah, this is the danger with queens, but so many more queens have been added here. Even some plague has been casted, and yeah, massive amounts of 4 queens here for the Zerg player. As yeah, there's defilers and queens on the ground. What an interesting game we have so far in between them. Still much map awareness, much map control for Flash, but yeah, the queens might strike very soon once again against the air units. You know, we even have detection here with a science vessel. But yeah, what a interesting game we have so far. So many queens here for the Zerg player. Quite interesting stuff, as of course they will very likely go for their next target just to spawn more broodlings on the ground. So very interesting and nice defensive gameplay here by queen, but he's only 47 workers. Still he has a chance to come back here with those mass queens versus the tanks on the ground. Of course Flash reacting with massive turrets. I believe some Goliaths and perhaps more rays will be added here. Actually 3 more rays are being added. So yeah, interesting game we have so far, as Flash now pretty much in control of this base, a very important base. And slowly but steadily the minerals are getting mined out here very soon. So yeah, interesting stuff. Once again the queens are in action. Slowly but steadily one tank after the other is getting taken out. One queen has also been sniped here. The other queen might go for the next target into the upper left part, but no, actually going for a tank. And yeah, finally a good job here by queen. He's able to push here out with his forces, finally being able to gain some space, but Flash next by with his tanks, with his Goliaths. More and more is getting taken out, more and more rays are being added. Yeah, of course Flash is going to protect this newly established base here at the 12 o'clock position, and now the fighters are pretty much getting obliterated here on the ground, so nice stuff. And massive amounts of those turrets are being added, but yeah, the Hydralisk of course stand no chance against so many tanks on the ground. What an interesting game we have so far. Where are those queens hiding? Perhaps into this location. Many more will be added. Notice how he's also nicely spreading the queens just to allow them to gain more mana, and yeah, it's still anyone's game. Perhaps a smaller advantage here for Flash, as he's so much in control, as he has so many mines getting laid out on the map. But yeah, in comes Queen once again with his queens, as he's very likely going to try to look for more tanks, Goliaths on the ground, gaining more and more map awareness here. And yeah, all of the tanks are into this location. Anti-air, massive anti-air is getting added here by Flash. A very interesting strategic gameplay here, a very nice game by both players. Actually, the Zerg showing us the queens as the counter for the tanks, and Flash immediately reacting with some race in the air. He might snap some queens here. Needs to be careful though, as we might have an attack here with a drop. But yeah, it is very likely going to get cleared very soon. So Flash is also going to be taking this expansion very soon. So really much great control here for Flash. Both players pretty much maxed out. Let's see what's going to happen. Who is going to try to do the first move? I believe Queen needs to attack here because the expansion is going to be very important. One of the last expansion. Only the middle is being left now on the map. All the other expansions pretty much soaked up. And yeah, let's have a look. Every unit counts of course a lot now. Of course, even the overlords now. And this could be also nicely taken out. Queen reacting, moving them back immediately. And yeah, who is going to be the victor of this interesting game, as we have a small stalemate. Queen once again on the defense. Flash a little bit more aggressive, just expanding all over the map, taking every chance he has. I believe his expansion will be flowed here immediately, but hold on, we actually have some queens now into this location, gaining some ground with some Broodwars on the ground. So interesting stuff here by Queen, as now finally Flash tries to snipe the queens in the air, but he's getting plagued and immediately he has to come back to get repaired. At the same time now Queen reacting with a army move out with some Hydras, but there's going to be of course no chance against those mines on the ground, against the tanks in the back. At the same time he's also moving out once again with the queens in the air. Needs to be careful not to get pretty much exposed against the arrays, but he knows of course that all of those arrays are being prepared and repaired and to the main, as he's now moving out with Zerglings. But yeah, they will be immediately killed by the tanks. Finally the queens do come in, but turrets also deal damage. And yeah, this is going to get clear, so all of that investment here from Flash is going to get killed. But yeah, Queen really has to move out and to kill as much as he can, just to give him this expansion back. But yeah, look at all of those tanks spreaded and anti-air, and still no expansion here into this location for Flash. Let's have a look. We're closing in towards the 30-minute mark. Still anyone's game. Both players had a good economy. Very macro intense gameplay here, as the queens once again are moving out. The next target should of course be these tanks, but he needs to be careful. A lot of queens on the low, so he needs to be careful to micro them out of danger as he's moving now out. And let's have a look what exactly the next move is going to be. Mass high risk, mass Zerglings. Are we going to be seeing a transition perhaps into ultra risk? We're about to find out, as in come the queens once again, adding the Broodlords, but so much in the air, so much suffering here for Queen, as he's going to lose one queen after the other. All of the rays also getting good connections. And is Flash going to be able to hold? He still has two tanks, but there are queens in the air, and the queens actually have been snapped here by the Goliaths and the rays, so one tank is being left alive. Very hard position here for the Zerg to attack, and yeah, many more Broodlords are being added here, so a fair trade. In the end, both players at 170 supply. Yeah, I believe the Defiler is going to get snapped very soon. Some Zerglings actually make it here forward to be able to snap the tank, and actually more and more is getting added here for Queen. Massive amounts of Zerglings, so this one expansion pretty much getting obliterated here by the Zerg. So nice move by him in the end. The reinforcements, the Zerglings were right on point here, moving forward, and yeah, gaining him control of the 6 o'clock position. So the Zerg might try to take the 6 o'clock position very soon versus the mech Flash here, as he still has more and more of those tanks, and now Defilers are being added. So Queen all of a sudden much more in control. Flash has to siege out of danger. Even Plague has been added, and now the Zerglings pretty much can take control of those tanks very soon. Let's check the upgrades very quick. Should be 3-3, of course. There is a 3-3. And the lurkers should also, with the Zerglings, have 3-3, actually 3-2. And yeah, we have a still interesting engagement here. Lots and lots of defilers and great Plague once again being added, as the Zerg feels confident to take this expansion here into this location. But yeah, even the lurkers on the ground dealing more and more damage, and we can see the reinforcements moving forward here for Queen is once again Zerglings with Hydras, and the Wraiths need to be careful not to lose them against the Hydras on the ground. So lots and lots of damage being taken here by Flash. Needs to be careful, no HP for those Wraiths, and they will of course be immediately taken out. So the high ground is here for the Zerg. He tries of course to secure the expansion as much as he can, even bringing some Queens forward. And once again the tanks will suffer against the Broodlords, and not only that, but also the Broodlings on the ground will deal splash damage because of the tanks attacking them. So yeah, still anyone's game. Still Flash having his troops split it here, but he might lose some Queens here. Yeah, the Goliaths are getting some good connection. The Wraith also in the air, and I don't know if Queen can hold this expansion for long, as he is taking more and more damage here. And yeah, still this one expansion not getting touched from the Zerg. This one is also still mining. The others are pretty much low here for Flash, as he kept transferring more and more units. But hold on, the action is of course happening here at the 6 o'clock position. More and more units are getting sent out here by Queen as he's moving forward with the Zerglings and with the Hydras. Yeah, lurkers also inbound, but some Queens, not that many Queens actually being left here alive for the Zerg player, as he's just going to keep on adding more and more of those Broodlords. But yeah, in the end the expansion might get taken out. And hold on, the Brace are actually getting some good connections. Great ensnare now, even catching those Hydras here on the ground. And yeah, in the end, once again, a fair trade. Both players are dealing blows to each other, but yeah, this expansion is suffering, taking more and more damage out of those tanks. And pretty soon, I believe it's going to very likely fall. Some drones have been transferred here, but let's see how much HP is being left. Only 82, so it is getting sniped. So Queen might try to transition into something else. Ultralis could be a good idea for him. Or is he going to continue with Defilers, with Zerglings, with Hydras? And a great scan here by Flash, as more and more damage is being taken here by the Zerg. But so much Dark Swarm is being added here by him, as yeah, still more Wraiths are getting added. More and more is getting pulled forward. Of course the Zerglings are secured into the Dark Swarm, but yeah, there's so much damage. Even the Wraiths dealing damage onto the low ground, and also the Goliaths are here to deal damage and to protect those tanks. But he's still Flash losing quite a large amount of those tanks on the ground, as the Zerg once again tries to take this base. He might also try to take the middle, but it's very hard to hold. And yeah, all of the bases here from the Zergs are pretty much mined out. This one is mining still good, but yeah, he needs more and more of those minerals. And you can see at the economy here, actually a better economy here for the Zerg. But however, now a great Plague has been casted, so many tanks are taking damage and drones are getting transferred, but they will of course be immediately taken out if Flash really wants to keep control of this one expansion here. But a huge wave once again is being added here by the Zerg, as he's moving forward with the Zerglings, with the Hydras in the back. All of those tanks will of course be easy targets for the Zerglings, as they're so low. Still, he forgets about those tanks that has been plagued. But yeah, more and more is getting sent out here by the Zerg player, and he should be able to hold now his expansion. However, in comes the reinforcements, so it's still a very balanced game, still anyone's game. Very interesting game we have so far here, very long game, quite out of the ordinary. And yeah, who is going to be the victor of this interesting game here, as we have all of the upgrades pretty much maxed out. And great Plague once again. I believe Flash has to pull back those units to get them repaired as fast as possible. And yeah, Queen still stays on Idolisk with Zerglings for him. I believe of course the Zerglings much needed for the Defilers to add more and more of that Dark Storm. So finally things have settled down a little bit Flash reacting once again with those vultures, and we actually see now a transition into Ultralisk. He saw the Ultralisk. There it is. So finally, massive amounts of Ultralisk here for Queen. Could this be his saving move? So many Ultralisk. Is pretty much maxed out on Ultralisk here on the ground. A very strong and tanky unit in the end game. This might be the winning move here for Queen versus the tanks from Flash. So Flash soon is going to feel the strengths all of those Ultralisk, and not only that, but there's also Queens in the air who will deal damage towards the units, and we even have some Zerglings move out versus the tanks. So now all of a sudden a strong transition here by Queen into massive amounts of Ultralisk, upgraded Ultralisk 5-3, very strong. Let's see who is going to be the first one deciding to attack, to make the first move. We see some Zerglings moving out, some turrets will be sniped here, so of course Queen taking care of all those turrets. Now Flash reacting with some tanks immediately. Let's see when exactly he's going to decide. So many Ultralisk here for him with Defilers. This is actually a very strong late game strategy, and even some lurkers will very likely be added, so Flash is going to be soon in some serious trouble. This expansion is still not being taken. Some Queens are also moving out here on the map. Is he going to try a drop? No, he's actually giving protection towards his Queens. And once again, many tanks have fallen here for Flash as he's bringing his reinforcements to hold the last base from him mining. This one is mining as well, but it's pretty much low. And the question is actually Queen mining. Yes, indeed, he's mining from this location. Some drones might get transferred very soon. This expansion still not being taken by nobody, as once again Queen maybe is going to try to attack here, but it will be a suicide, of course, as the ramp is pretty much in control of Flash with his race in the air with the tanks on the ground. So Queen might try something else. Speed has been of course done. Let's see if he's going to try to attack here, also very hard. However, with Defilers it would be a good idea here for Queen to attack. And yeah, scans do go out. Flash wants to know exactly where his enemy is located, as yeah, we're going to be seeing more and more of those Queens moving out here for the Zerg player. And yeah, a good target here might be added. No anti-air, so Queen is going to react nicely. The tanks dealing splash damage towards themselves, as slowly but steadily we're close towards the 40-minute mark. Still anyone's game. Slowly but steadily all of the map has been depleted of minerals and gas. And of course Flash is now the one waiting. He's not being aggressive, he's inviting Queen to attack. Queen also adding more and more of those units, and of course also brings forward his Queens to take out of those units. But we do have science vessels actually, so this seems to be the answer from Flash, as he saw the Ultralisk on the ground. Science vessels with Irradiate is going to be the answer, especially against those Defilers on the ground. Yeah, Flash is going to wait. He's going to add more and more of those mines on the ground. Eventually some mines will get some connection. There is the scan, there are more Queens, and yeah, I believe it's going to come down to a strong attack. But yeah, this is the reaction by Flash. He's of course going to target the important units from Queen. He's going to of course irradiate all of those Defilers, and even some Ultralisk are getting irradiated here. But yeah, I believe Queen is going to react immediately with some more Defilers and some Scourges actually being added, but there are Goliaths on the ground, and Flash has to micro those science vessels out of danger. And yeah, Queen really much has to react very fast. Hold on, he could get a good connection here. Another connection might be taken out. All of those science vessels, as only 4 are now being left alive. And yeah, Queen adding more and more of those units here. We also see Overlords. Are we going to be seeing perhaps a drop by him into this location? He just needs to hurry up. There is some anti-air here, but is he going to go with the Queens in the front and the Overlords in the back? Let's see what's going to happen here, as this one expansion is very important for both players, as it's pretty much getting mined out, and Queen also pretty much getting mined out, so he needs an expansion really fast. His Scourges will get some connection, but at the same time they will take damage. So in the end all of the Scourges have fallen, but they did a good job. They did take out the science vessels in the air. And yeah, let's see. Oh, indeed, we do have a reaction here by Queen. He's going to add all of those Overlords into this location. And where exactly is he going to drop? Very likely into this location. Oh, where exactly is he going? adding more and more units, more and more Zerglings on the ground, Scourges in the air, and even some defense vessels are actually irradiating all of those units. So yeah, the units have to be dropped back. This is of course very important here for Queen. He is not allowed to make any mistakes, as he would lose the units into the overlords, so many more overlords are being added by him. It's very likely going to send the empty overlords in the front and then followed up by the other overlords. In the meantime, Flash is actually mining from this location, expecting a drop. Saw all of those overlords. We do see some lurkers. The Queens are in the front. I believe they will be the first one engaging here into this fight with great Broodlords on the ground, and now there should be a follow-up very soon with overlords, but still Queen is waiting as more and more troops are getting transferred here by Flash into this location. Even a supply deployed just to give more and more of a block here from him, but we do see a reaction now finally here from Queen. He's moving forward with his units, with the Zerglings in the front. The overlords are in the air, mass Goliaths, but they are in the back, so this could be a very successful drop here. Need some Defilers perhaps here as well. And there comes the drop, there comes the Dark Swarm. Lots and lots of units are taking damage left and right. Queens are now also engaging here against so many tanks on the ground here, but the Goliaths also take good aim and good charge here versus the units, immediately uplifting the base here. So of course Queen had to react here. He's moving forward with his units, but not that much is being left here for him. Same can be said here for Flash. He also suffered some losses, but in the end I believe a small advantage here for those tanks. Plague also nicely being added. Queen has to replenish his forces, but will his economy allow this? He might transition now into Zerglings, but remember there's also mines on the ground. And yeah, once again we do have a regroup here from Queen. He might take out all of those hurt Goliaths there with some Zerglings, with once again Defilers. There's the Defiler. He's going to try very likely to attack once again. Some Lurkers are on the ground. There is the Dark Swarm being added here, but the Goliaths are really low here. They might get repaired, but yeah, not that much money being left here for Flash as well, as still Vultures are being left here out with mines. He's going to snipe one Zergling after the other, so very smart move here by Flash, and even the mines are dealing damage, so smart move. I believe the Vultures give him a great advantage here, as the mines will take out more and more of those units. And of course in the late game every unit counts. It's a great micro here for Flash, as he's abusing of course the speed of the Vultures versus the units from the Zerg, and slowly but steadily one Zergling after the other, even the Ultra-Risk will take damage out of the mines. A nice back and forward here, nice micro here by Flash, as he's even sniping out the drones with just a couple of Vultures. And now once again more and more splash damage is being taken by the Zerg. So with all of that he just bought more time into this location for him, and very soon he's going to land his expansion and keep on mining, as his other expansion pretty much mined out. So still Queen could take the game. He has dropped below 100 supply, but he could take the game if this one expansion is being secured. But Flash reacting with some tanks. I believe he could withdraw all of those tanks. Yes, indeed, that's exactly what he's doing. His base is mined out, so he's very likely going to regroup in the middle of the map, and at the same time he's going to also secure this expansion here, sending some, yeah, there are the tanks being sent out with some Vultures. Even the SCVs have been sent out just to give protection towards those units. And yeah, now the Hydras will of course suffer. There comes Queen with his last resources, with his last Queens and the last Ultralisk on the ground. Even some Overlords have been brought here forward, but Flash actually attacking from all sides. In come the tanks from the above, and he's very likely going to be able to secure this location. Not that much anti-air here for Flash, so he's going to lose some tanks, but yeah, in the end is it going to be enough here for Queen, as he's bringing more and more reinforcements forward. The tanks will be sniped, damage is still going to be taken. There's anti-air being brought here, tanks are falling, some Queens will fall here as well. Lurkers giving good protection, but yeah, Flash brings now his reinforcements. The same can be said here for the Zerg, but there's so many tanks here for Flash on the ground. We might see a drop once again being executed here by Queen. Yeah, in come the Zerglings, in come the Ultras, but not that much is being left. The mines now actually deal damage towards the tanks, and many more tanks are falling left and right here. Overlords are falling here as well, and yeah, both players taking so much damage here, as Flash really wants to secure the middle of the map. This space is, I believe, also secured There are some Zerglings pulling forward. They might kill a Goliath or two, actually 3, as they were very low, but still the expansion is secured. The tanks are here, the high ground is in favor of Flash, and he's also very likely going to take this expansion. So could this be the winning move by him? The mine's actually now getting so much good connection, so very interesting strategy here by Flash, as he's showing us the importance out of those vultures, and Queen actually GG's out. So in the end, Flash winning this crazy game. I believe Queen had the higher advantage, but yeah, those tanks on the high ground in the end giving him the victory. And let's not forget the micro, the great micro with those vultures. Actually Flash showing us how important vultures can be versus the Zerg, showing us how important the vultures can be with those mines on the ground, giving him so much map control, just not allowing the Zerg to make his way, not allowing him to play his strategy well. Of course he needs to add a overlord or two all around the map just to clear out those mines first, and in the end I believe the vultures were a big advantage here for Flash. Such a great unit to have with speed, with those mines on the ground. Yeah, a mech Terran actually winning versus a Zerg. The Queens were a good answer versus the tanks from Flash, but in the end the turrets were also very strong. And let's not forget the Wraith also getting some good connections here. So pretty much all units. We didn't see battle cruisers. Would have been cool to see some battle cruisers, but yeah, in the end Flash taking this crazy game with securing the last expansion here on the map, and also securing this expansion here. The fires sadly didn't move out. Didn't work out here for Queen, but yeah, Queen tried everything. He played very well, very strong, but yeah, those tanks on the high ground very deadly, with the vultures giving security on the ground as well. Now let's just check the stats once again. A very long game, 45-minute mark here. Great game by both players, and the mech Terran actually winning it versus a Zerg. So perhaps a good inspiration for you if you're a Terran player. Maybe you're gonna try this. Don't forget the vultures, don't forget the mines, don't forget the speed for the vultures. And you even saw how Flash out micro the Zerglings on the ground, and in the end some Zerglings will eventually step onto those mines, and that could be very deadly, as you saw that splash damage. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Tommy signing out.